Good morning, North Middle School 7th graders. Today we're going to be learning about analogous colors, and to understand about analogous colors we're going to need to talk a little bit about color spectrum, and that includes the color wheel. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at a basic color wheel. A color wheel is basically all of the colors, and they are arranged in what we call color spectrum order. And it doesn't matter if you start with yellow at the top or blue at the top or red at the top. As long as they are arranged in color spectrum order, it's considered to be a color wheel. So we're going to be talking about analogous colors. That's one of the color schemes that you can see on a color wheel. And analogous colors are basically next door neighbors on the color wheel. They are side by side. And for our purposes, we're going to be talking about analogous colors that involve three specific colors: a primary, a secondary, and then a tertiary, which is also sometimes called an intermediate. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a little bit of color mixing. You're going to start with a primary color. You're going to go to the secondary color that's closest to it. In this case, it would be yellow. And the secondary color that's represented by a square that is closest to it is orange. And if I were to take the orange and the yellow and mix these two colors together, I would get that color in the middle that's represented by a triangle. That's called a tertiary. So these three colors together would be what we would call an analogous color scheme. Now if I were to take the secondary color on the other side of the yellow, that would be the green, represented again by a square. If I were to take the green secondary color and the yellow primary color and mix these two together, I would end up with a yellow-green, which is represented by the triangle. This is a tertiary or an intermediate color also. So no matter where you look on the color wheel, if you take a primary color and its closest secondary and mix those two together, you will get an intermediate or a tertiary color in any direction. So those three groups of colors are what we call analogous colors. That's what you're going to be working with on this project. Now, analogous colors can be separated into what we call a cool side and a warm side. So if I were to split this color wheel up right down the middle, and I'm going to go from yellow-green to red-violet, I have basically what I call cool analogous colors. So any of these colors that are side by side are considered cool colors that are analogous. And cool colors remind us of water and grass. And so if I'm picking a cool color combination with analogous colors, I'm going to pick any three colors that are side by side on this color wheel. If I were to choose a warm color scheme, I'm once again going to split it right between the red-violet and the yellow-green so that I have half of the color wheel again. This time I've got warm colors. Warm colors remind us of fire and sun. And if I were to take any of these three colors that are side by side, that would be considered an analogous color scheme using warm colors. You're going to choose which side you prefer. Some people like warm colors, some people like cool colors. You're going to pick either a warm side or a cool side to create your color spectrum using warm or cool colors. Now, if I were using the entire color wheel, I would be calling that color spectrum by itself. So I could create an entire color wheel. That would include primary, secondary, and then the tertiary colors. So I would be creating lots of examples of analogous color schemes within the color spectrum. So thanks, boys and girls, for staying focused on this lesson. The next thing we're going to see is a demonstration of painted cool colors. When you watch this demonstration, you'll know how to do your color mixing. Thank you.